Hey guys, Brent Wright here. I wanted to go ahead and make a video. Um, a lot of people ask me, why are you trying to run for city council? Um, and I guess this is a way for me to go ahead and get kind of the message out that I want to portray. Um, there's a few reasons why I'm running for city council. One, I've been a resident of Portage for 27 years. Um, I kind of lived East Coast, West Coast, moved here. My dad was in the Air Force, retired from Grissom, got a job in Gary, bought the house here when I was 9. I moved here when I was 12. I've got deep roots in the community, a lot of close friends, and really I've seen Portage change a lot since I was a kid. When I was when I was younger, in high school, middle school, things like that, you were proud of Portage. I was on the wrestling team until I got hurt, but there was a lot of pride, like for the football teams, for the games, the city, things like that. Even though we weren't big back then, I mean, we were big, but we weren't what we are now. And over those years, I've seen so many things kind of leave the city. Like we no longer have a bowling alley, we no longer have this. And one thing that I've learned over the years, we're not the most business friendly community out there. And I'm so tired of my friends and family members and anybody saying, like, oh, well, I got to go out to Valpo to have a nice dinner or walk around, do this. I got to go here or there. And it's like, why don't we have those things here? And one thing I've learned is we're very tough on businesses that want to come in. Clearly, we all know there's a lot of subdivisions in Portage. Portage, by population, is actually the third largest city in Northwest Indiana based on a per population base. But we don't have the businesses that people want inside of our community. We don't have the restaurants that people want, the walkability areas that people want, the parks that people want. We don't have a community pool. We don't have, a lot of towns now have skate parks. We had one, don't have one now. But all of these things, to have them inside of communities is off of taxation. And in my mind, right? So I'm going to give you an example. In my mind, the way that I think of it is as a community on the government side, we work harder instead of smarter. If you want to work smarter, right, versus harder, yes, you can have homes. Obviously, people need houses, and growth is coming to Northwest Indiana, and we can see that in every area of Northwest Indiana. But when you have a commercial property, you create a 3% tax rate on the assessed value. On a residential side, you have 1%. So for every $1 million of residential properties on the assessed value, we get $10,000 a year in taxes. On the business side, we collect $30,000 a year. Now, on the business side, there are different calls for the fire department, the police department. Like there's a lot less, domestic issues or even health issues related to at a business. Like, so there's less calls, so it's less work for more money. I really got irritated when, and I don't know the whole story and I don't know everything, but from everything I've gathered from people that were involved in different aspects in both sides of the aisle, we lost target back in, I think, around 08, 09, something like that. And personally, like, I don't know if that's a good thing or I know it's a bad thing, but in my personal life, I don't know if that's good or bad because my wife loves Target, and if it was down the road, we'd probably be there every day. But at least I'd save the gas to driving to Valpo, right? So, but in perspective, Target pays, and it was over a sign, from my understanding. Like we lost Target over a sign. Target pays Valpo based on the assessed value. It's like right around $170,000 a year in taxes. So over a 10-year span, that's 1.7 million. But remember, taxes typically tend to go up at like a 2 to 3% appreciation annually. Sometimes there's a setback, whatever, based on that area inside of that township. But this is money that we're losing for what? Over a sign? Because the sign's too big for the city? I'm going to give you an example. There's 1,955 targets in the United States as of June of this year. Works everywhere else, but not here. I just heard we lost Cracker Barrel as well, over a sign issue, a sign ordinance. Who cares? That's another $30,000 to $60,000 annually that we're going to lose based on a sign. Okay. Another thing that I don't like is we make it difficult on all businesses. I don't care who you are. So this one kind of is mind-boggling to me. There was a business, from my understanding, and I'm not going to say the name of the business, but all right, so it already had an approved sign, like an outdoor sign in the building, and it's like a strip mall. So there's numerous signs like sleeves that slide in and slide out, and there's your sign, like, so you can add. So it's like, the name of the complex at the top, and then, 4 or 5 little signs that are interchangeable. It took 2.5 months for this business to go ahead and pull the blank sleeve and slide theirs in so that they could advertise their business. Why? That was already an approved structure that was approved when the building was built. So you should be able to interchange that at any given time without going through this meeting, that meeting, this meeting, and that meeting. The one thing I've learned in business and life is the more complicated people make things, the smarter they feel. When really you need to make it as simple as possible so that you can be as productive as possible. And I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing nothing but money being lost. I know commercial brokers. They have tons of businesses and developments that want to do business with Portage, but they don't want to deal with Portage because we're too tough. This is something I really don't understand. I want Portage, if we can generate more tax revenue, because property taxes, when they come in, it benefits the city as a whole, depending where it's at and how it can be spent. But that money goes to the schools, that money goes to the fire department, it goes to the police department, it goes to the street department, it goes to this. But when we make it hard on these guys, they finally say, you know what, we're done. We're just going to go to another town and do business. I've personally seen this happen over and over and over in the last 3 years. And I really don't understand why. To me, maybe it's an ego thing. Maybe it's a this thing. I'm tired of it. And it's like, if I can bring some kind of thought process to the city and say, hey, are we looking at, okay, so maybe you guys don't want them or you want them to do this or that. Are we really willing to lose X amount of revenue at an X amount growth rate for this many, for the indefinite future over a sign? Like, that is crazy to me. And I know so many people don't want to see the subdivisions come in and, whatever, oh, we need businesses. And you're right, we do need businesses. And we need businesses that people want. We need businesses that people want to go to. We need entertainment. We need a kind of walkable area. Like, I love going out to eat in Buffalo, walking around, hanging out, doing whatever. Me and my wife. We don't do it much. I have 3 little kids. But let's make Portage simple. We need to bring the pride back. We need to make it to where people are excited and happy to live in the community. I mean, think about it. We have beaches. We have the South Shore. We have, the South Shore train station. We've got the toll road. We've got the freeway. We've got 65 is 2 exits up, like 2 exits away. Portage is accessible to all of Northwest Indiana, and that's one of the reasons I live here. As a realtor, I can be anywhere in Northwest Indiana within 45 minutes. It doesn't matter. St. John, Cedar Lake, LaPorte. That's why I think this place is great. But we need to make it simpler so that other people too can make it great. Everybody wants to compare us to Valpo. We're not going to be Valpo. Valpo is the center point in the heart of the community, of the county. It's the county capital, and they are very pro-business. They have the mindset, if you want to come in and open up a business, maybe it won't necessarily work, but they say instead of saying no, they say, hey, we want to help you make this work. So let's figure out a way to where we can make it work inside of the guidelines. And then, by the way, we're going to get some tax revenue off of that. And the more money that the city has, the more things that they can provide and do, right? So that's kind of the reason why I'm running, because I feel like when it comes to contract negotiations, I'm good at it. I do it every day in real estate, right? I'm good at business. Anybody knows me. I'm good at business. I'm good at investing. I'm good with finance. Do I have a ton of experience in office? I don't, and I'm not going to say I do. But one thing I'm good at is listening to people, understanding and taking a complicated item and trying to make it as simple as possible with a streamlined process. That's why I think I could truly be an asset to the community. And we need more people like that that are willing to step up. I've always felt if somebody's able to do something, they should at least try to do that something. There's nothing worse than wasted talent, right? Um, this is where my kids are at. I want Portage to prosper. I'm tired of everybody saying they have to go somewhere else or do this or go here or go there. Why can't we just do it here? Let's become a community that everybody wants to come to. Everybody feels safe in. Everybody wants to have fun. They want to do this or that. Like, let's start getting these businesses. Let's make it simple for people to do business. We need to open up. We need to be open for business. And right now, I just feel like we're closed for business. Yes, we have another car wash going in front of Kohl's. Yes, there's another car wash approved. From my understanding, the car wash is approved across the street from Aldi. I don't know that much about it. I'm not that involved with it. There's a lot of neighborhoods coming in. Let's get some stuff that we want. Let's get some fun stuff for the kids to do. Let's get some stuff. But in order to get that, we've got to get the businesses to come in and start investing in the community. Again, there's so many that want to, but they don't want to deal with the city. And I hear it all the time. And it really makes no sense to me. So that's why I'm running. Again, registration's almost up. I'm trying to raise campaign funds so that you know a little bit about me. I'm running as an independent. When it goes to local politics, I don't feel like any side should really be based on a political party. Um, on a personal level, I'm actually very kind of split in the middle. I see good and bad on both sides. And there's things I agree with on both sides, and there's things I don't agree with on both sides. So truly at heart, I am an independent. I've never once in my life voted straight ticket, straight this, straight that at all. It's like if it makes sense and it's what's best for the people, that's what we need to do. Um, so that's why I'm running as an independent here in Portage. I, I don't like the politic tick for tack thing. So I'll give you an example of like again why parties to me are just a problem. I think it was in 2017, 18, 16, 18, somewhere in there. Um, a piece of paper had to get filed with the state, from my understanding, and it was already filled out. It just had to either be submitted or sent or faxed or emailed, whatever, so that we could get, I think it was $1.5 million to help pay for roads. It was like a reimbursement grant or a matching grant or something. And the one guy didn't turn it in because he wanted to make the other guy look bad because they were in opposite parties. And it's like, so the only people that hurt from that is us and the people in the community. But then that also hurts the companies, right, that are going to be doing the work and the employees of those companies that are going to be doing the work because they all benefit off of it. And a lot of those guys probably live in town, which means so not only do we not get the roads for everybody else or the money for the roads for everybody else, but we lost money for the revenue for the people that work in the city that work for the companies that we're going to do the work. So that's a lose-lose all the way for a tick-for-tack thing. Like, hey, I'm gonna make you look bad because you're in that party. And I don't agree with that. I think we should work on based on what is best for the people in the community itself. So that's why I'm running. Again, I'm doing the golf outing to help try to raise some funds. I know it's tough. It's a very short notice. I'm trying to run this golf outing within a 30-day window. And I understand, like, I gotta have the numbers in by Friday for who's gonna make it, like who's gonna be able to play, or food really is what I gotta have a head count for. Um, because there's going to be like a little breakfast, then the shotgun start, scramble games, got some prizes for people, longest drive, closest to the pin, longest putt, um, nothing big, just some little stuff. And then we've got like a little lunch buffet afterwards, starting at 2. And it's $100 a man, $400 for a team. I really appreciate the support. Again, this is something I'm trying to do for the campaign. And if you don't want to golf and maybe you just want to donate or maybe have a sign in your art or something, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to include a link below this as well. So feel free. If you have any questions at all, feel free to give me a call. My cell phone number is 219-406-7195. Thank you.